Chair and members of the Public Service Commission who are here, from the Secretary, invited dignitaries, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Ambassador of Japan, also a very keen golfer, and we were just complaining to the acting permanent secretary for engaging us to come and do this thing when we should have been playing golf. We begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are gathered today, and the Mai, Wana Nturana Roti Suva. We pay our respects to the elders and to the leaders of the present and any emerging leaders. If there are any members of the who are here, we ask that you convey our respect and our thanks to your elders and your leaders. It's always a good day when we can step away from our desks, stretch a little, and remind ourselves of that our health is not just a personal commitment, but a national responsibility. Today is a proud moment that we officially open the new gymnasium at the Fiji Learning Institute for Public Service, or FLIPS. A facility built not only to build stronger bodies, but also stronger, a more resilient civil servants and a civil service. When we talk about nation building and service delivery, we think of strategic framework, infrastructure and policy. But none of these succeed without a strong and well-supported workforce. You, our civil servants, you are the beating heart of government operations. And your heart must stay healthy and strong. This initiative is aligned with the government strategic framework for civil service reform, which places human capital development and workforce well-being at its core. Wellness is now recognized not just as an HR initiative, but as a key driver of effective service delivery. And our whole of government health and wellness agenda programs such as Wellness Wednesday have been integrated into workforce culture to reinforce daily habits that promote mental, emotional, and physical health. This gym is a visible, tangible step towards embedding those policies in real action. We're also aligning with national strategies such as the Fiji National Development Plan and the Ministry of Health Wellness Framework, which advocate for preventive health, community engagement, and holistic well-being principles that are now being applied across the public sector in Fiji. As someone who believes deeply in the value of physical fitness, particularly when one went into intermediate school with a doctor's certificate, asking all teachers not to involve me in any physically demanding sporting activities. I wasn't excused weeding in the garden or theater yoga and all that in my intermediate school, only contact sports. They found out that my body was too weak. Maybe it was because I went to school 1 year ahead of all my contemporaries who were going in that year. But as someone who believes deeply in physical fitness, I can tell you that taking care of your body pays dividends in every area of life. Your chairman would know that when I came into the school where he was already into his second year, I was one of the weakest boys coming into Form 3 that year, 1962. And I must thank my colleagues at school, some of them a few years older, who had started a bodybuilding club using bricks that were meant to be building blocks for the chapel. We were building a new chapel at that time. And we just used branches and galvanized pipes and bars. And we were training in a little part of the chapel, which was still being built, using bricks that were supposed to be used for the chapel building and breaking a lot of them and causing a headache to our principal. But that's how I started to be involved in physical sports and to have a commitment to develop my own body to be strong enough to be a successful member of a boys' boarding school with all age demands. Some of you may know that I proudly wore the Fiji colors on the rugby field and in athletics at international level. Those experiences taught me discipline, teamwork, patience, and endurance, qualities that serve me well in leadership today. I'm glad to say that since I was sworn in as Prime Minister on the 24th of December 2022, I have not taken one day sick leave. Although I've struck the rugby boots in the golf club, and further golf clubs that I now enjoy, and sometimes dig in the garden, they remain, and I try and stay active every day. Whether it's in the gym or in the sports field or in the backyard, I take an active interest in physical well-being. Some of you may remember, Peter here, Permanent Secretary, Acting Permanent Secretary for Civil Service, will remember that last week I won the longest drive in golf for those over 70. And I'm glad that none of those between 70 and 77 outdrove me. So at 77, I could still come home with that prize. And some of you may also remember that just down the road last year, I was competing in the Masters, Oceania Masters competition in athletics. And I got a bronze medal in discus. And that was also a lucky one because none of the younger people in our group of 75 to 79 beat me. I was already into my second year into the group. Let us remember that keeping the body healthy keeps the mind active. A lot you think about when you're in the gym, particularly the last file you saw the previous day. And you may not have been able to deal with it, or the last question that the young people from the press ask you just before you leave the office, just as you're getting into the car. Sometimes you are weighed down with all the work that you've been doing, and you get to be pretty unfair on some of them, brushing them off and getting into the car to go home. And you spend a good night sleeping, and the following morning you freshen up and go to the gym. And think about those poor reporters who stood there with a paper ready to write your answers and you didn't answer them. So you make up your mind that when you go back, and if they're still there or they'll come back, that you'll answer them. Not only as the head of government, but as a father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. So be civil to the civil servant, and be civil to the private sector. You can only do that if you have a healthy outlook on life. Total healthy outlook on life. The gym represents more than just a building. It symbolizes a cultural shift. The government investment here reflects a broader commitment to a people-first approach in public service reform. A healthy workforce is a capable workforce, and a capable workforce delivers better outcomes for the people it serves. I commend the Fiji Learning Institute for Public Service for leading this initiative and setting the pace for other ministries and agencies to follow. I hope it will be made available to the other departments, even those that are not going through training here, that it will be available to some of them who would like to come and spend wellness Wednesday up here, or even after work, to look after their physical fitness before they go home. I hope it will be available to them. If anyone needs a bit of motivation, I'll be happy to challenge a few of you for a friendly set of push-ups or maybe a quick round of golf after work. And as I said, I warn you first. If you want to come play golf, it's a $1 hole. You win a hole, you get $1. I win, you give me $1. And if you win the next one, now I've won the previous one, we square. So at the end, it could be ending up with nothing. It's good fun. So let us not treat wellness as a Wednesday obligation. It must become a daily commitment. Let us encourage walking meetings, lunchtime fitness sessions, healthy food days, and emotional checkup or check-ins. Let's build a service culture that is vibrant, supportive, and life-affirming. I have these things on my mobile phone, and I keep track of my steps every day. Yesterday, I was mourning with my daughter, her colleague that drowned. So I didn't want to go out, didn't even go and play golf, and just did my walking around the house and did 9,430 steps. The day before that, Monday, was a busy day in the office, only 3,662. Friday last week was better because I was out at the golf course, 7,747. So keep these things better than Facebooking all the time. Coming back to this, ladies and gentlemen, our nation needs us to be fit. Needs us to be focused and ready. So let us rise to their expectations, rise to the call, not just going through our work, but through our well-being. Together, let's build a public service that leads by example, strong in policy, strong in delivery, and strong in body, mind, and spirit. Thank you very much.